Hi, my name is Relinda Ruth, and I'm the Director of Educational Resources at UA Cossatot. Today, I'd like to talk to you about research. Once you start attending college, you transition to an adult mode in which you need to know about current issues and form your own ideas and opinions. So, how do you develop effective stances and arguments? You conduct research to learn about issues, and a tip: always know both sides of an argument. You can write a great research paper in 10 easy steps. We'll look at each of these steps in detail, but for now, just look at the overview. You need to be able to select your subject or topic, reduce the big picture or narrow your topic, state your objective or thesis, maintain a preliminary bibliography, prepare a working outline, organize your notes, evaluate your sources, write a rough draft or two, edit your paper, and write a final draft. It's important to know whether your topic is chosen for you. If not, then you are able to choose something relevant to the course but interesting to you. It's not uncommon for researchers to start out with a specific topic in mind, only to change their focus because something in the research appeals to them. At this stage, you're still developing ideas. As you begin researching, your focus will narrow. One thing that often breaks a writer is a failure to plan. Set deadlines for yourself. If you have a 5-page paper due in a week, set goals. Spend a specific amount of time researching, writing, and preparing a final draft. Set goals and meet them. College-level research is different from high school research. In high school, you prove an existing point through published research, and you explain that point. But in college, you add to the body of knowledge. College research makes a point about a topic and proves that point. If you're able, log into your computer and go to the ERC database page. Start a preliminary research of what you want to learn about. I want to learn about what? This is where you start to narrow your topic and form a thesis or objective. The big picture starts to get smaller, and you can focus on a particular research question. So ask yourself these questions. What is the cause of blank? What should be done about blank? What are the ethical implications of blank? What can this book, film, or other creative work tell us about blank? Should we be concerned about our increasing dependence on blank? Now you need to start narrowing your topic and forming a thesis statement. Think about your original research question and ask yourself these questions. When you started, what was your research question? And at this point, how has it changed? If you had to explain your research project right now in 30 seconds, what would you say? Write a single sentence about what you now plan to do as a writer. I will argue or show blank. Congratulations. Now you're thinking like a researcher in generating a thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the main point of your paper. Your paper is what proves the validity of your thesis. Think of the thesis statement as a controlling idea that helps you choose your resource materials. As an example, this thesis statement shows the controlling idea in the words reflected in. The writer will find sources that compares the cultures in ancient and modern times. Let's look at this thesis statement. Ancient Greek culture is reflected in the lives of present-day Greeks. So we can see the controlling idea is reflected in. The writer would look for sources that describe characteristics of ancient Grecian culture and modern Grecian culture. The thesis statement is the foundation of your paper. It needs to be a strong statement. Think about what a foundation is. It's what everything is built upon. So it has to be strong. Avoid fragments and questions. You are the driver of the paper. It is based on your research, so be bold in your thesis statement. But use credible research to support your statement. One way to start listing sources is to use note cards. It helps to keep up with your sources and avoid plagiarism. These don't have to be used in your final paper. Remember, you may read some sources but decide not to use them. Just keep track of the sources you're looking at, and as you write down information from a source, use in-text citation to refer back to your note cards. If you decide to use the material, you will know exactly where it came from. Prepare a working outline. This is very important. An outline helps keep you on track. Here, you're showing how modern Greeks preserve ancient Greek culture. You will need to do research on both and make the connections in your paper. Writers organize their notes in different ways. You'll develop your own style, but make sure you keep up with your sources. One way to do this is when you have your note cards and you write down a source, put a number on it, and then in your notebook where your notes are, write the number associated with the card. You would not believe how easy it is to get lost. You get into your research and you see something you like, you write it down, and as you're putting your paper together, you may not remember where it came from. So be sure to connect your bibliography with your notes. You've probably all been warned about Wikipedia. You need credible sources, and these are some ways to evaluate your sources. According to College Composition and Communication, these are effective ways to do that. If the author is a scientist or scholar, it's probably credible. The audience consists of other researchers, scientists, or scholars, meaning the language is complex and assumes a level of sophistication. It is more than 1 or 2 pages long. It includes references to related research. Remember, when you're researching, look at their sources. It may help you to find other sources for your paper. The ERC is your best option for credible sources. We have about 10,000 books, and we can help you navigate the online databases. Remember, you can access the databases 24/7. Carefully evaluate .com sites. While some of them have credible information, you have to use your own common sense to decide if it's credible or not. Carefully evaluate .org sites, as they are usually biased. I suggest you write these sites down. By avoiding too many .coms, you'll find much better sources to support your point. We have the ERC, Google Scholar, Catalog of U.S. government publications, Google Books, iSeek. A rough draft is part of the process. We use the term rough for a reason. It is usually very rough. Don't worry about spelling and punctuation just yet. Instead, concentrate on the content. Your paper will consist of 3 parts: an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Ask yourself these questions anytime you write a paper, and you'll see that grade improve. Does each paragraph have a topic sentence that relates to the thesis? Is each idea supported by evidence? Are there clear transitions from one section to another? Are there clear transitions from my words to quotations? Are there clear transitions to tell the reader when one idea ends and another begins? Do I have any grammatical, spelling, or typing errors in my paper? Are my in-text citations written correctly for the style I'm using? Are my page numbers inserted correctly? Is my paper formatted properly for the style I'm using? Your final draft is your finished product. Make sure you formatted and cited properly. There is a way to set up Microsoft Word Spell Checker to check for all kinds of errors. If you don't know how to do that, come by the ERC. Proofing is important. We recommend OWL Purdue to check your formatting and citations. Sometimes it helps to have someone else look at your paper. They may catch a typo that you missed. And be sure to ask your instructor about whether you can use first person or contractions in your paper. And never use the pronoun you in an academic paper. Remember, if you have any questions about how to format your paper or even how to get started researching, just come by the ERC.